What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
It's a wince and a pained little smile. What did you do to have these people after you? What happened here the night he died? Why did you call the cops if you're hiding? Well, it got to her, right? When was the window changed? Let's start from the middle. What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
The sole of the bed is visible. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Jesus.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
That would... I mean, she was already pretty messed up. That would just make things so much worse. The occult vision was right. He was enjoying the moment of his death.
I don't... How did you know that?
She squints.
You asked her before if he enjoyed it. She avoided it. How did I not discern it was a lie?
Huh.
He just had a hunch. Detectives have those sometimes.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She thought they found her, but they were going for him.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss.
Oh.
She looks at it quickly, tosses the butt aside. Shake your head. That's a motherfucker.
Yeah. It was a real motherfucker.
She immediately lights another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
I'm thinking, like the Sunday Friends apartment is that way, right? So that's not I don't think that's the place where a shot could come from. They have to come from that way.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
I can't afford it.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little.
So that would be the cursed shopping district, right? Or this door. Is it possible they came in through this door and shot them and then ran back? If it was dark out and the lights were on, you wouldn't be able to see out.
He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Let's just let her. Let's let her talk. Say nothing.
She pulls on the cigarette, looking up at the sky. Her hair ripples in the breeze as she stands there, silent.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby. Is that one of the Hardy boys?
Ruby?
Oh, okay. This is the girl. I was gonna say, or is that the name of the woman, the Hardy woman? Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. Thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
And that's not the lawyer. That wasn't Rudy. So this must be the girl that we're looking for.
Does she also party with Ruby, however?
Did you party with Ruby too?
No.
She smiles nervously. The beads of her teeth shine.
Still, there is something there. She won't tell you now.
Huh. Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
Huh. That's a lot of weight to be held by like a shower head.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby. Where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy boys.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
So unlikely that they came in through here, this door here. Did you kill what? Why'd you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth.
I don't think so. Why did you do it?
You have to understand. The people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Hey, that's Kuno you're talking about. Are you messing with Kuno, motherfucker? He's my boy.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud.
Oh my god, we shot him.
Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
We shoot him. Ah, we both took shots at him and I hit him. Oh my god. If she was watching that.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
Did you kill Ellie?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
I had to throw her off. There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
Huh. That's interesting that she says that. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. Because she distracted him too much? Or because she thinks that the people that she attracted too much attention to him because of her background? But then they would have gotten her next, right?
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs.
Yeah. That aspect too.
It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
So we got downstairs people. I guess we have to interrogate her about this because she lied to us before. She could be lying now, right? So we gotta really hammer this to make sure that she's telling the truth. Downstairs people had this crazy idea that you killed him. It's okay if you did it in self-defense. Desires drive people loco. Drugs are an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end. It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Okay, desires drive people loco.
She simply shakes her head.
Drugs are an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought Ravishol would be more enlightened about this. Especially since you've taken them yourself.
What? Me? Never.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. It's not one of respect. You may want to add a clever retort to this one.
Clever retort.
She looks at you, confused. The lieutenant shares her confusion. Respond with something professional. Now,
Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss.
Like what?
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
She takes a drag.
you should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom? Inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage.
Huh.
I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
Oh, hey, you're good at forging stuff. Maybe you can sign this document.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lovelocks and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that. You're right, this is bad. You've destroyed what people have built. That's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into.
It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting...
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
I wonder what drew her to do that. Was it money? Was it the kicks? Was it revenge?
That can wait. Look into her eyes.
Maybe there's no
There's more.
maybe there's no specific reason though. Some people, you know, they just float their way into weird situations. That's just kind of the way life is. It's the way my life's been, that's for sure. What did you do?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
She looks down, then into your eyes. It's not easy to deal with.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it?
I drink.
I do that too, yes. It's unbelievably effective. Especially when combined with cigarettes. And drugs.
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I thought they'd found me.
Sorry.
They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
I misclicked there. She said, that's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone. She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
It probably didn't.
Or, I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
She looks at the table.
We can't go after Lovelocks. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
I think we're done here, for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
Man, we are really making some gains in this case since we became a superstar cop. Lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk.
I don't like you, Volition.
No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality.
I like you, Drama.
Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her.
In God's name, wake up, Drama? The love that did him in. Semen sample avoidance. Do we... Okay, hold on. Multiphase, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her. Do we want to continue pushing her? I guess we could try. Let's see what happens.
Who? What?
What?
Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps.
Especially since what she just told us is true, that she was heavily into corporate espionage and she had someone... She was so good at her job, she got someone to commit suicide? Like...
She
it's a good
probably
point.
didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Your real name isn't Clasia Amandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Her voice cracks suddenly like there's a garret around her neck. Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She looks at her hands. Her fingernails are chipped white. Was the passport bullshit too? That passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
Where is this buoy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds.
Ah,
On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now.
west of the boardwalk. So can we find it?
It's useless.
West of the boardwalk in the reeds. We have to check this buoy out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
So the boardwalk is... I think we have to go across the bridge to get to it. This is the pawn shop, I think. Because I don't remember seeing this. Or is that the boardwalk? Or is that the boardwalk? That's probably the boardwalk there. Sure. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can find it. Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so.
Could it mean Clausia is an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazie?
Wait, is Klasia Klasia is an abbreviation of Don't make me pronounce this! Katarzyna Alazie?
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Clausia?
I'm the one playing the game, conceptualization. Don't tell me what to do. Who gave it to you?
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago.
Huh. I'll keep calling you Klasia.
That's cool.
She looks at the ashtray, then up at you.
She doesn't feel like a Clausia.
Klasia.
She feels like nothing.
No matter how many times I hear this name, I'm never going to be able to pronounce it properly. Okay, enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, why have we not arrested her yet? This is a ruse, okay?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies.
I'm going to dial that right now, guys. I'll tell you what happens.
There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
I got the same thing.
That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
Drama. Drama's going in hard on her.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
I'm going to have to remember to level up Drama next time because we've been using it a lot.
It checks out.
Lieutenant nods in your direction. Anyone could know the number, and that someone coughed. It means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
You sense a little hesitation there, or maybe even fear. The stress was on the wrong syllable. Welcome to the wake-up club, brother.
What if I told you you're under arrest, Klasia?
Klasia.
Klasia? It's because I said it wrong. She repeats with a pained smile on her face, her back pressed against the railing.
It was my first real boyfriend who gave me that name. He never recovered from the shit we went through. Because of me.
Who was he?
He was a writer. He made Orenislet. And I destroyed him.
She looks you in the eye, her mouth quivering. She seems to destroy everyone around her.
I know I'm shit. I know. But I haven't done anything. At least nothing illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
Am I making a choice to arrest her here? That's what I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm pushing her or if I'm actually going down a path where she's going to be arrested. I don't want to arrest her, but I'm still cool with pushing her to make sure she's telling the truth. Failure to aid a police officer. You have wasted our time in a time-critical investigation. You misrepresented information about the case. Without the Hardys' confession, we'd know nothing. You're suspect in a murder investigation. You're a flight risk. That is all the reason I need. Industrial espionage. We upheld international law here in the zone of control. I'm going to go with failure to aid a police officer.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please no.
Her eyes become round with fear. She tries to back further off.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says,
Holy shit, this is working.
Gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is sex.
Sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship.
She could use that to extort her, basically.
When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
So part of the reason why she might have been attracted to him was because he was a tough guy and he could protect her. Huh. That could be why she was attracted to all those stories, too, that he told.
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
Lieutenant sounds incredulous. He still has the cuffs in his hand.
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
Lieutenant narrows his eyes.
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Yes, but what was their relationship outside this unequal power dynamic?
So we've got, what was your relationship like before this conflict? Sounds like she was fixated on you. This is just sensationalism and guesses. I don't know what to make of this. Okay, let's ask about the relationship.
We spent a lot of time together, listening to the radio and such. She had great milieus, and she was good company. I was sorry it had to end.
She pauses.
What was that question about? She's feeding her friend to the wolves here.
Sounds like she was fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs.
She raises her eyes to meet yours.
Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
When Ruby said there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Huh. Looks through the window of her room. It's interesting because the way the Hardys are behaving kind of makes more sense now. They were told to obfuscate the death. Or how the death happened. Maybe, I don't know. Now I don't know what to believe. And how could she have killed him?
You've been trying to kick that door down, right? Maybe it leads downstairs.
I was right!
She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
But then she didn't hear the gunshot.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, that's it for Ruby.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful.
Okay, who? What is that going back to? It's been up here many times. Jack and Private, she used to come here to drink the roof with me before it got weird. Who? That's all good. I think we should still take you in just in case. So this is like pressing her even more. Who? Why? Who?
Her.
Oh,
Stop letting her distract you.
We're talking to authority. Okay. That's all good, but I think we should still take you in, just in case.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know.
Her hand turns into a fist, slowly crushing the cigarette she's still holding.
But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational.
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
What do you deserve then?
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink, and dance, wallowing in shit. Just like everyone else.
What other option do I have?
You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
You do have the form.
Hey, we do have the form.
By God, she's playing him too. Like a fiddle, sire. Who would have known?
What will have changed in 2 months or 1 month?
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Revachol.
She falls silent. It could be over, right?
There is desperation there, in that silence. A cornered animal looking for a way out.
Maybe Revachol could be free. I could be tried in a free Revachol.
Oh, or that.
An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
Handcuffs jingle his hand. I also find it hard to believe. I do like the sound of that. Another Revachol free, independent. I do like the sound of that. Not on my watch. It's got nothing to do with anything.
The world can change. It's changed before.
Her round, light brown eyes shining with tears.
Her political overture has succeeded, we see.
I made my choice. Decide what to do with her.
She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear, lips parted.
I so like that they've approached it in this way because I was concerned. I was like, am I going to pick something that arrests her and I don't want to? I'm trying to push her. This game has been really, really clever in that way. Like, usually you understand what you're deciding. It was similar to when we were talking to Metalhead. We could pretend to play along with his game to use him, but it still allowed us to decide like how we felt about it. Kim, arrest her before this drags out any longer. Let's write you a station call, Classia. If you miss it, I can't help you anymore. I'll let you off the hook for now. Don't make me regret it.
I won't, sir.
She exhales, shaking visibly. Then she collects herself. Do we have something more to ask her about Ruby?
She nods. Then
Okay.
Let's change the subject for the time being.
she slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Should we try look up at the gray sky? We might get double sixes. Do it!
Nothing happens. There is a mass of droplets above the planetary body, colorless, merging into one another.
That was a situation where I could have changed my clothes, but I decided not to.
The sky is low and cold. You hear the distant murmur of motor connections somewhere south of here. That is all.
We can come back and do it later.
So, officer.
Let's see, the lies.
Lies.
She repeats, then trails off. It's unclear what she intended to say.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
Jesus, drama. Fear thirsty.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Let's return to this later.
As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all.
I was right.
If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft plate.
Turn to Classia. Looks like love did him in after all.
She's silent, holding on to her coffee mug. No vapor rises from it. It's cold.
I guess we said we were going to return to that later, right? Because we did mention this before. Let her answer.
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced and not real.
Why?
Easier that way.
Takes a sip. Was it real?
I don't know.
She looks down at the yard, then back into her coffee.
Real as anything.
Let's take a look at this door again. That was really cool conversation.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Physical instrument. Inspect Classius. Boy! Make Titus give up Ruby's location. Jeez, we're on. This has been like 2-3 hours of this. Very, very interesting. Very complicated.